Kabanata 28, Homesick. No date for tonight? Tanong ni Densyo. Umiling ako at tumingin lang sa iniinom. I know I've known him for a while now but I don't really think we share the same interest. Hindi ko maalala kung naging interesado ba ako sa kahit anong sinabi niya sa akin noon. Honestly, I only remember that I find our dates boring. Sa 2 beses na date na iyon, pareho ko lang ginamit bilang excuse. Maybe that was why I don't really remember ever liking any of his hobbies dahil mas nag-look forward ako sa gagawin ko sa date namin kaysa sa mga sinasabi niya. I paused a bit and realized that maybe he didn't really spark my interest because I'm only interested with one person. Really? He kind of feigned his shock. Natawa ako. No, seriously, talaga bang wala? Well, I had, but it didn't end very well. Nagkatinginan kaming dalawa. Nagugulat siya samantalang siya naman din walang kadate sa gabing to. I'm not really curious about him but since we're seeing each other here and it's not that often to accidentally bump into an acquaintances in a big city abroad, I think I had to ask. I knew it. Natawa siya na parang napaka-imposible na mag-isa ako sa araw na iyon. Ikaw, may kadate ka ba? Kanina or... Umiling siya at bumaling sa inumin niya. He looked serious for a long while. Nagbago nga lang ang ekspresyon nang bumaling sa akin at nagawa ng ngumiti. He didn't ask anyone or it's your choice to not have one or... I trailed off so he could finish my sentence. Ngumiti lang siya na parang ayaw dugtungan iyon. Bumaling ako sa inumin ko at hindi na nang usisa. I get that part. It seems like he doesn't want to talk about it. I am not going to pressure it out from him. Nag-order ulit ako ng inumin at agad na ininom iyon para lang makapag-order pa ng isa pa. The years of heartache and misery taught me to drink a lot. Hindi naman ako nalulong dahil marami naman din akong ibang pinagkakaabalahan. But there are nights like this that I would gladly want to get drunk and just sleep all my sorrows away. Nice to see you here. I didn't expect to see a familiar face here. Aniya. Tumango lang ako at tumingin sa inumin ko. Ininom ko nga lang ulit iyon at nag-order ng bago. Kanina pa ang baso ni Densyo sa harap niya kaya nakuha ko agad ang titig niya sa akin pagkatapos kong mag-order ng isa pa. I didn't ask anyone out. Sagot niya sa kanina ko pa namang tanong. Napabaling tuloy ako ng tuluyan sa kanya at nagtagal ang tingin ko. Sa totoo lang, gwapo naman si Densyo. He had a mature and sophisticated aura. He is also very rich, a scion from a family of old money, politicians, and businessmen. Mabait din naman siya. Base sa bilang na dates namin, kahit hindi naman ako interesado sa kanya at naboboard ako, wala siyang ginawang masama. He's polite, almost angelic actually. I'm not judging his life but most men his age are either married or in a long-term relationship. Alam ko namang hindi talaga necessary ang relasyon pero inisip kong gaya kay Nikolai, he must have suffered the pressure to get married from his family o kahit girlfriend man lang. Hindi ko alam kung may girlfriend ba siya o wala ngayon pero kung pagbabasihan ang pagkikita namin dito at ang pananahimik niya kanina at ang sagot din niya sa tanong ko, mukhang hanggang ngayon wala pa siyang girlfriend. Hindi na ako nang usisa. Tiningnan ko lang siya at hinayaan kung maidudugtong pa nga. He sipped on his whiskey and his eyes remained there for a while. Napansin ko ang dumaang pait sa mga mata niya, pero bago ko pa makumpirma, nawala agad iyon. Kalaunan, bumaling ulit siya sa akin, nakangiti na. It's been years since I asked someone out actually. I gave him a tight-lipped smile. Bumaling ako sa inumin ko at nagpa siyang bagalan muna iyon. Let me guess, got too bored and you think you don't really connect well? Naitanong ko bago ko napigilan ang sarili. Hindi naman totoo sa lahat ng tao ang experiences ko. He could be talking about an ex while I am speaking from my own experience. Tuwing may kadate ako, lagi akong naboboard at lagi kong iniisip na hindi ako makasabay sa kadate. O nabababawan ako. O naghahanap lang ako ng excuse para ayawan ko yon dahil sa totoo lang wala talaga akong interes. I only dated men to challenge my feelings. I want to prove myself that I can like someone else. but I always fail. Kaya nga mag-isa na naman ako ngayon. He chuckled and tired of the small talks. Napabaling ulit ako sa kanya at nagulat na inakala kong mali ang hula ko. Pero ngayon, tama naman pala para sa kanya. Does it always feel like you're searching for something? A spark from the person you're dating? Tapos sa huli, wala. Kaya wala ring nangyayari? His lips pursed. Walang nangyayari pero sinusubukan mo pa ring hanapin iyon sa iba? Kasi imposibleng sa isang tao mo lang maramdaman iyon. I have been ignoring Gaudencio Sevilla for the longest time. At sa pagkikita namin ngayon, bored pa rin ako sa kanya hanggang sa sinabi niya iyon. Tuluyan na akong natigilan dahil ako ang tinutukoy niya. Ang ibang tao, ilang beses nagmamahal, kaya imposibleng isang beses ka lang? He chuckled and nodded. You can't be that special to only love one person, while others can easily move on and love someone else. Nagtagal ang titig ko kay Dencio. He averted his eyes from me and looked at the intense brown liquor in front of him. Maybe it was the smooth, slow jazz from the bar stage, or the way the lights dim on the place, or the reflection of the whiskey on his eyes, but suddenly I felt the sorrow in his eyes. Hindi ko napansin iyon sa mga naunang pagkikita namin. Hindi ko alam kung dati na ba iyong nasa mga mata niya o nito lang. O dati pa pero hindi naman ako naging attentive sa kanya pero ngayon ko lang nakita. The loneliness and sadness is suddenly clear in his eyes. Kahit pa nginitian niyang muli ako, ramdam ko pa rin ang lungkot at panghihinayang niya. It's intriguing to find someone who feels the same way at hindi sa isang lalaking kagaya niya. I sipped on my shot slowly and didn't finish it. You're successful, rich, influential, and handsome. I never thought someone could dump you. Natawa siya at ipinakita ang inumin. Sumimsim din siya roon. I can say that to you as well. You're very pretty, a model, influential, rich, and famous. I never thought someone could dump you. Ipinagpalit ka ba? I asked casually. Kung ayaw niyang sagutin yon, hindi ako ma-offend. But it was as if it's my own test to see if he is willing to share his experiences to me. Hindi ako kailanman nagkwento sa ibang tao tungkol sa sinapit ko. But then I have Nikolai for all my raw feelings so I don't need another friend. He chuckled again. There are a lot of successful, influential, rich and handsome men back home. What makes you think that I can't be ignored by a woman to marry another man? I pursed my lips. Well, at least it's not that insulting. Ang masama dyan ay kung pinagpalit ka sa mas mababa sa'yo. Natawa ako dahil sarili ko na ang tinutukoy ko doon. For some reason, I heard Akila's voice inside my conscience. Mas mababa sa'yo? Tigilan mo na nga ang panalait sa ibang tao. Hindi yan maganda. Walang mas mababa sa'yo. Pareho lang tayong lahat na nagsisikap. Fuck you, though. Anong pakialam mo kung gusto kong maging masama? I refuse to believe that someone did that to you. Don't refuse because it already happened. Sabay tingin ko sa kanya at medyo handa nang magkwento ng kaunti sa nangyari sa akin. Is that why you were always preoccupied on our dates back then? How about you? Sumipot ka lang ba sa dates natin kasi sinusubukan mong magmahal ulit? Nagtagal ulit ang tingin niya sa akin. Something in his eyes sparkled. It was as if I said the right words and he's very pleased and amazed with it. Gaya ko na pressured lang ng parents na sumipot. Well, I'm here in Paris right now because I'm pressured by my parents to get married as soon as possible. Tinawanan ko lang yun. To get away from intrigues, na Valentine's Day tapos wala kang date kaya lalo kang ipipressure? He leaned on our table. Naramdaman ko na mas lalo siyang naging interesado sa kaunting pag-uusap namin kumpara sa mga nagdaang mahabang dates. Unlike me, you're probably not pressured. Bata ka pa naman at... I snorted. You don't know my parents. They always set me up with someone. Hindi na naman kailangan dahil ako mismo nakikipag-date para tuluyan ng makalimutan ang nakaraan. But it's just not working. I'm trying my best though. Bumuntong hininga siya. Nagkatinginan ulit kami. Sa pagkakataong iyon, sa mas mahabang panahon na. It was an interesting night to find an old acquaintance in this side of the world who is as broken-hearted as I was, and to discover that we share a lot of feelings made that day significant. It didn't get better though. I was back to dating other men when I went back to work. I chose the most daring work offers for myself, and in the end, finally accepted some offers I have always denied back then. Pakiramdam ko, naging pagkatao ko na ang trabaho ko. My drive to be very public and be the center of the spotlight became consuming. Iniisip ko noong una dahil lang wala akong ibang pinagkakaabalahan. My parents also only called me to inform me about Solomon's situation. Bago ako umalis, naglaya si Solomon. I didn't have the strength to comfort my own brother. Si Ramos pa rin ang sumalo ng lahat ng iyon. Ngayon pa lang ako tumutulong. I miss him, but it's not enough reason for me to come back. I'm scared that I won't be able to handle myself if I come back. Hindi ka sinaway ng parents mo? Tanong ni Nikolai sa akin. We don't call each other very often now. May asawa na siya at kahit sa kasal niya, hindi rin ako umuwi. Nagtampo siya pero kalaunan, naintindihan niya rin naman iyon. They let me do anything these days, you know? Sagot ko. I thought there's a limit to it. Surely, they won't want you to join an international pageant. Iba ang pagmumodelo sa ganyan. It's more publicized. I smirked. You will be a household name. Yeah, that's what I want though. I said boredly. Bumuntong hininga si Nikolai. You want to be a household name? Hindi ako sumagot. Napawi rin ang ngiti sa labi ko. Kapag ganoon kasi ang tono niya, alam ko na agad kung saan patungo. Wow, I never thought you'd want to be a household name, madam. Do you want to enter showbiz now? To be on TV often? To reach the masses in all the country's provinces? Stop it, Nikolai. Are you doing this because you love it or you don't want to be forgotten by a specific person? Wala akong pakialam kung makalimutan na ako ni Achilles. Stop it, Nikolai. You're overthinking this. Am I? I gritted my teeth. He hated it that after all these years, I haven't moved on. At kahit anong sabi ko sa kanya na nakamove on na ako, hindi siya naniniwala. He thinks all the things that I am doing is just because of my broken heart. Wala akong problema kung halos maghubad ka na sa mga minomodelo mo, madam. But I just wish you're doing it because you like doing it, hindi dahil sa ibang rason. And now that you want to be a household name, I don't think it's because you want to be famous in our country. Bumuntong hininga ako. Nikolai, don't overthink this, alright? Bumuntong hininga rin siya sa kabilang linya. I heard his wife calling on his background. Namilog ang mga mata ko. You called me in your home? Hindi ba napag-usapan na natin na sa opisina mo lang ako tawagan? I'll talk to you later. Aniya at nagmadaling patayin ng tawag. Umirap ako at umiling bago binaba ang cellphone. I can't believe him. Minsan nang nahuli na magkatawagan kami at kahit anong explain ni Nikolai na magkaibigan lang kami, his wife won't understand. I even tried to reach out but she won't have none of it. Kung sabagay, there's really something about those best friends, ha? Pinilig ko ang ulo ko. Iba nga lang sa kaso namin ni Nikolai. I am really just his best friend and nothing more. Pero hindi ko masisi ang pagdududa ng asawa niya. Kaya kahit wala naman kaming tinatago, gusto kong sa opisina niya lang akong matawagan nang sa gayon ay hindi kami maabutan. Of course, I would understand if she would request us to cut the ties. But then, if we cut ties, I will have no one. At ganoon din ang nararamdaman ni Nikolai. He leans on to me whenever he has problems. Walang ibang nakakaalam sa totoong pagkatao niya kundi ako kaya mahirap talagang tapusin ang pagkakaibigan naming dalawa. Hindi ko alam kung kailan lumala ang mga naiisip ko. Siguro ay noong nalaman ko na buntis ulit si Alana, doon na napigtas ang pasensya ko. I finally dated other men. I want so bad to forget. Nakadalawa na nga, hindi pa rin ba ako natatapos sa kanya? Inip na ako. But the more men I date and kiss, the more I felt lonely. I had been proposed to 3 times with big diamonds and rings that were worth $1 million, but I can't seem to find the courage and passion to say yes to any of it. I groaned when I saw the news in a newspaper. Sinapo ko ang noo ko at naisip na ayaw ko talagang binabalita ako na ganito, na may tinanggihang bonggang proposal. I bit my lower lip and thought of another more explicit shoot to cover up that story. Ayaw kong sobrang pagpiyasahan ang pagtanggi ko sa proposal. Pakiramdam ko kapag nalaman nila, may isip nilang bigo pa rin ako, hindi pa nakaka-move on. So, which one is it? Tanong ni Densyo sa akin nang muli kaming nagkita. This time, we intended the meeting. I paused from kissing him to look at him. Nanalo na ako sa pageant kahit halos hindi ko naman sineryoso. O sineryoso ko para matabunan ang umingay na balita tungkol sa pagtanggi ko sa proposal. You don't want to get married or you're not over him? I chuckled drunkenly. Both? Tumango siya. I can't imagine myself settling down, be a wife and be a mother, but you have imagined your future with him back then. Nag-iwas ako ng tingin at naisip iyon. Oo, there was a time when I imagined that. It felt like it was the only future for me, to be his wife and be a mother to his children. Now that he's gone, I've no interest in being any of those, not to anyone. Minsan, kahit nasa sariling apartment na, gusto ko pa ring umuwi. Ilang taon na akong nasa ibang bansa, sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo. I made a few addresses my home but I still feel like I am not home. Sa tuwing iniisip ko ang bahay namin sa Manila, kung doon ko ba gustong umuwi, pero hindi pa rin. I want to go home. I don't know why I'm saying that even when I am home. It feels like I am longing for a comforting place where home is. It always hit me at random times. I am suddenly longing and nostalgic of a place where I once belonged. I couldn't pinpoint where. It's not here. It's not in our home in Manila. Not even our home in Costa. I don't know where. I'm just very homesick. I feel like I have not been home all these years. I feel like a feather floating freely on air, not landing anytime soon, and not belonging anywhere else. Sometimes, it feels like it's not really a place or a time. It's a feeling. A fleeting feeling of belongingness to something or someone. And now it's long gone. I will forever be homesick. Niyakap ko ang mga tuhod ko habang nagkukulong sa kwarto. Basang-basa pa ako sa ulan galing sa pagtaboy ni Achilles sa akin pagkatapos kong lumuhod at magmakaawa na tanggapin niya ulit ako. I'm here in Costa, inside our house, inside my very room, and yet I still want to go home. I'm still very, very homesick. I don't know where that home is, but I am missing it badly. I deeply long the comfort and the belongingness. I came here now because I had high hopes. I hoped so much because of Alana's letter. O talaga bang dahil lang sa sulat niya ako umasa? Mali, dati na ako umaasa. Sa dinami-dami na ng naging karanasan ko, sa layo na ng inabot ko, sa ilang masasakit na salita nang natanggap ko, at sa mga masasakit na balita, hindi pa rin talaga ako nadala. Umaasa pa rin ako, iyon ang totoo. It was as if I am hoping that I will suddenly wake up from this long, long nightmare and start all over again. I am still living in the prelude where I'm waiting for my life to happen. All this career boost and heartaches from the news of him settling down are all just a nightmare for me. I expected and anticipated that one day I will wake from this bad dream and hug Achilles on our own bed. Gusto kong matawa. Hanggang ngayon, nag-iilusyon pa rin talaga ako. Hanggang ngayon, umaasa pa. At nang nabasa ko ang sulat ni Alana sa akin, akala ko iyon na ang hinihintay kong yugyog para magising sa masamang panaginip na ito. I thought that finally, the prequel is over and the story will start soon, with a twist, but still may happy ending. Umasa ako sa sulat niya pero ngayon nabigo ako. He clearly told me a while ago that he didn't love me anymore, that he loved Alana instead. I don't know if he's lying or do I still have the strength to hope that he is lying, but I'm exhausted. Ang galit at puot ko para kay Achilles ay isinantabi ko para sa pagbabalik na ito. Alana is right. He didn't tell me that he doesn't love me anymore. He is his wife and yet he thinks that Achilles is still in love with me. Her words stung so deep in me that all my resentment for Achilles got brushed under the rug just so I could finally be with him. I already imagined our life, with his two sons who I will raise as my own. I was already prepared. I even loved them already when I was in the plane boarding to come home. I was that sold to Alana's letter and idea. Dear Maria Emilia, there is a big chance that you won't read this because you are still very mad at us, or that you have moved on with your life and you don't want to look back anymore. But I guess I am writing this and sending this to you anyway. May mga gabi pa ring hindi ako makatulog at naaalala ko ang lahat ng mga sinabi mo sa akin sa araw na iyon. I never really liked you from the very beginning, and to tell you honestly, I still don't like you now. But I am writing this because I know I will regret it if I won't. The first time I met you, I immediately know that there's something between you and Achilles. O siguro dahil espesyal ang turing niya sa'yo. Noong una, gusto kong isipin na dahil iyon Galvez ka at mayaman kayo. Pero kalaunan, naalala ko na hindi siya nagtatrabaho sa inyo at walang pwedeng eksplanasyon kung bakit kahit hindi maganda ang ugali mo, patuloy ka pa rin niyang iniintindi at pinagtatanggol sa aming mga kaibigan niya. Achilles is a kind and responsible person. Iniisip ko rin na natural lang naman iyon sa kanya. Pinagtatanggol niya rin naman kami sa iba. He's always polite at us, kind and very accommodating as a friend. But I know I am just fooling myself. Deep in my heart, I know that there's something between you two. Even after I confessed my feelings to him years after he met you, he was polite in saying no to me and promised me that we will remain friends, that nothing will change between us until you. Kaya hindi ko magawang magustuhan ka kahit noong kayo na. My hatred only grew when he cut ties with us. He never told us why, but I was sure it was because of you. I resented you for it. I hated you for stealing my friend. But actually, I hated you for stealing my love. Yes, I painfully love him. Umasa ako na matatauhan siya kalaunan dahil hindi ka nababagay para sa kanya. Nakikita ko ang layo ng agwat niyong dalawa. Nakikita ko ang lumang mga damit at sapatos niya, samantalang lagi kang may bago at mamahaling mga gamit, may sasakyan na sumusundo, at hindi mo maintindihan ang kahalagahan ng pagtatrabaho. Nakikita ko kung gaano siya nagsisikap na pumantay sa'yo at sinasabi ko sa sarili ko na maghihiwalay din kayo. Hindi magtatagal ang relasyon sa dalawang magkaibang tao. Sa estado man, dahil mayaman ka at mahirap lang siya, at sa ugali rin, dahil masama ka at mabait siya. Nangyari nga ang naisip ko. Naghiwalay kayo at iniwan ka niya. It was very fast for me but I comforted him. It seems like those days were the darkest days of his life. He was lost and all alone, at inaamin ko na mahal ko pa rin siya. Inaamin ko na naisip ko noon na pagkakataon ko na iyon. Hindi ko alam kung bakit kayo naghiwalay. I just assumed that finally, he woke up from his unrealistic goals of marrying a Maria Emilia Galvez. Or that he has finally realized that he can't stand your attitude. That maybe your family finally had the courage to break you two up. He can't leave the Navy because he worked hard for it. He's poor and he can't afford to lose his hard-earned dream. Just for a woman he couldn't even understand. And you won't understand why his dreams, his job, was so important to him. You won't understand that for us poor, our job and passion is our life, our way to survive, identity and honor. You won't understand because all your life, you don't really need to find it. It was handed to you on a silver platter, being a socialite Galvez who won't need to work for money. Pero sa totoo lang, hanggang ngayon, habang sinusulat ko ito, hindi ko alam ang totoo niyang dahilan. Maria Emilia, we already have 2 sons. We have been married for years. Hanggang ngayon, gusto ko pa rin malaman ang dahilan niya. At first, I wanted to swallow my curiosity and leave him be. I thought he will eventually open up. Pero habang tumatagal, lalong tumitibay ang desisyon niyang sarilinin ang dahilan. And I'm afraid I'm out of time to even know the real reason. I am a hypocrite to say that I didn't see this as a competition, because I did. I thought I won. I married Achilles. I got him. He left you. You lost. I am not sorry for it, but I don't want to carry this pretentious burden with me in the afterlife. No, this is not a competition. There was no competition to begin with. You have always been the only one for him. I couldn't conquer him because he has already been conquered, and his heart is owned only by his conqueror. I see it, all the flickers in his eyes whenever he spaces out, or when he see you on TV. When he looks at the sunset, whenever he is awake and alone, watching the sun rises in the morning, or when he kisses me. Sinisisi ko siya, dahil hindi niya ako minahal gaya ng pagmamahal niya sa'yo. Sinisisi ko siya dahil ginamit niya ako, pero sa huli, alam ko rin ang pagkakamali ko. You're right, I wanted to reach for my dreams out of town. I wanted to go abroad and see more of the world. I didn't have money but I know I'm still young. That soon, I can get my dreams. Pero noong nalaman ko na wala na kayo ni Achilles, nagbago ang isip ko. It felt like my real dream is really to marry and settle down with him. That those dreams of leaving town was only my choice because Achilles was with you. At nitong mga huling taon na nakasama ko si Achilles, nagsimula na akong magsisi na nanatili ako sa tabi niya, na naging makasarili ako at itinuring kong gantimpala ang pagpapakasal sa kanya. If I have known that my life is this short, I could have reached for my dreams and not settle for a man who couldn't love me the way I deserved to be loved. Still, I can't fault him alone. It was my decision to comfort him. It was my choice. He didn't force me to do anything. In fact, I treated it as a prize for my painful years of waiting for him. I thought I won. I thought I defeated you. I am writing this letter because I want you to know that he had always been in love with you. He never fell out of love. Up to this day, he's still in love with you, and I don't see him moving on from you. Siguro, iniisip mo na napaka-martyr ko naman para sulatan ka pa ng ganito kahit na mahal ko siya. But the years of one-sided love made me so bitter that I couldn't even get to appreciate the life we have, our sons, and this future that I chose. The past years, I can't stop thinking of my dreams and what I could have been if I didn't settle for him. It robbed us of the love my sons deserve from their mother. Sising-sisi ako na ngayon ko lang minahal ng husto ang mga anak ko. Sising-sisi ako na lagi kong iniisip ang pagmamahal ni Achilles. Mahalaga iyon. Pero may mga anak na kami. Dapat ay iyon ang inuna ko. Sising-sisi ako na hindi ako nakontento na kahit kailan hindi siya naging malamig sa akin. Kahit kailan hindi niya ako pinakitaan ng galit o sinumbatan sa lahat ng mga sinabi ko sa kanya. Sising-sisi ako na sa pagsisikap kong maging asawa niya, hindi ako naging ina. I am dying. Before I go, I want to say all of this in the hopes that when I'm gone, you can mother Percival Archer and Jackson Archibald. And finally, be a wife to Achilles. He is still in love with you. He will always be in love with you. You are his son. And his world, even though bright because of his two sons, is in a perpetual cloudy and sunless days without you. Alana. Bumukas bigla ang pintuan ng kwarto ko. I locked it even when I know I'm all alone in the house. Only the house helps are around. Kaya nagulat ako na may pumasok. No house help would dare enter. I was about to get mad when I realized it wasn't a house help. It was my mother. Natanaw niya agad ako pero hindi nagbago ang malamig niyang ekspresyon pagpasok. Hindi na kami kailanman nag-away tungkol sa career ko o kay Achilles. We don't see each other often. Halos isang beses lang sa isang taon kaya wala ring pag-aawayan ng husto. Ngayong basang-basa ako, namumugto ang mga mata sa pag-iyak dahil kay Achilles, hindi ko na tuloy alam kung paano pa ipapaliwanag ang nangyayari. I know she still doesn't want Achilles for me, but it doesn't matter to me now. I won't tell her what happened, but I'm sure she has an idea. Magmumuka akong tanga kung magsisinungaling ako sa kanya at wala rin akong panahon na makipagtalo kung aamin man ako ngayon at pagagalitan niya ako. Her words won't matter to me, so what her lambast be for? Dinig ko ang bawat lapat ng high heels niya sa sahig. I am not scared of her anymore. I remained seated in my miserable state. Ano pa ba ang masasakit sa mga sinabi ni Achilles sa akin kanina? Wala na. Wala nang pwedeng sabihin si Mama na makakapagpalala pa sa sakit na nararamdaman ko. She opened the closed curtains. The rain has died down outside but I am still soaked. Hindi ko na alam kung ilang oras na ako na nakaupo sa sahig. Nilalamig na ako pero wala na akong pakailam sa pisikal na nararamdaman. Stand up, she commanded. She walked towards where I was. Nanatili akong nakaupo. Stand up, Maria Emilia. Ulit niya sa malamig na boses. I'm busy right now, I said with equal coldness. Natahimik siya at pinagmasdan akong hindi siya sinusunod. She then sighed heavily. I know why you're like this. Umirap ako. That's for sure. Nagtagal ulit bago siya nagsalita. Lumakad muna siya sa kabilang bintana at tinanaw ang ulan. Hindi ko alam kung saan siya galing o kung bakit siya nandito sa bahay. I don't even know where she was before this. Wala akong masyadong balita sa kanila nitong nakaraang buwan. She then looked at me from the window. Madilim sa kwarto ko pero may ilaw sa labas. Her face was dark against the light but I can still see her dimmed expression. Humalikip-kip siya at humilig sa malayong bintana na iyon. He broke your heart again. I scoffed. She always has ways to find out what's happening with me. May pakialam ba ako kung mabuking niya ako? Wala. Ano naman ang gagawin niya? The only thing that could stop me now is if she kills me. I wonder if that is a better option right now. Look at you, Marem. Ang layo nang naabot mo. You're famous. You can be a superstar if you want to. But I know you don't like the spotlight. It's obvious in your works. You just do it to get the attention. You are always half-hearted in your showbiz endeavors. You don't value it, but you know how to keep it, to use it to your advantage. Tama ka, Mama. Totoo namang pumasok talaga ako para hindi ako makalimutan. Para laging nakita. I don't even like it. I realized that long ago. I only did it to get attention or to busy myself. It's just a diversion. Pero dahil gusto ako ng mga produkto at ng mga tao, even if I half-heartedly do it, it doesn't matter. You had a lot of boyfriends and suitors. You've been proposed to 3 times. Kahit bata ka pa, tinanggihan mo ang lahat ng iyon. Para ano? Hindi ko siya tiningnan. I stared blankly at the wall. Pagagalitan niya na naman ba ako? Hindi na ako bata. I guess I'm just glad her voice is calm and cool. Not the strained and alarmed ones back when I was younger. Para sa lalaking yon? If you're going to scold me about his status, rinding-rindi na ako, Ma. Save your words. They won't matter to me. She sighed again. I know I have not been a good mother to you. Natawa ako. Alam ko ang mga kasalanan ko sa'yo, pero sa lahat-lahat ng mga nagawa ko at pagkukulang ko, isa lang ang hindi ko pinagsisihan. I lifted my glare at her. Unti-unti na naman akong nagagalit sa kanya. She looked sad and worried, but her coldness overpowered it. Hinding-hindi ko pagsisisihan na pinaghiwalay ko kayo ni Achilles. Are you saying that you're the reason why he dumped me? I have no idea why he dumped you, but I thank him for it. Kumunot ang noo ko. Biglang nalito sa sinabi niya. She sighed again. The sadness crossed in her face and stayed there this time. Madam, if I have a choice, I'd take this secret to the grave. Hindi ko kayang magbago ang tingin mo sa papa mo. He's a good man. For a long time, I tried so hard to keep our family together. You tried so hard to keep you and Papa together, Mama. Hindi ang buong pamilya dahil hindi kita naramdaman. I said bitterly. Pumikit siya at yumuko. Saglit na pumatak ang luha niya. Her image in a full mid-length Dolce & Gabbana dress, a beige high-heeled closed stilettos, and hair in a tight chignon is the very definition of our family's emblem motto. Shoe to Lelegos. She is breaking down right now. For real. I've seen her so angry and ungraceful, and yet there will always be times like this when she looks regal, like my father's grandmother. I know now why my grandmama chose her as my father's other half. I'm sorry, she said quietly. But believe me, the only way to keep this family intact for me is if I secure your father. Kumunot ang noo ko. Hindi ko iyon maintindihan. Walang pwedeng paliwanag sa akin ang kapabayaan nila sa mga anak nila para lang sa kanilang relasyon. I did that, but I'm not sure if I am successful. Maybe on the surface, but truth is, his heart is with someone else. Hindi ako nakapagsalita. Akala ko ba nagpakasal silang dalawa na mahal nila ang isa't isa? Akala ko ba pinagkasunduman sila, minahal pa rin nila ang isa't isa? Hindi ko maintindihan bakit sinasabi to ni Mama sa akin. You see, Madam, you are not the first Riego and Galvez who walked Costa Leona to fall in love. I was stunned. Hindi ko alam kung saan ko narinig iyon. Leona Riego, Aquila's mother, and your father, Rodolfo Galvez, are in love with each other even before your father married me. Hindi ko maintindihan o hindi ko mahanapan ng connection iyon. Magtatanan sila ng gabing iyon nang hindi sinipot ni Leona si Dolfo. She stared at my completely confused expression. Pinangakuan ng iyong ama si Leona na pananagutan niya ang nangyari sa kanilang dalawa. Namilog ang mga mata ko. My heart literally sank at a bottomless pit when I realized where she is going with this. Lalong lumakas ang ulan sa labas. Gusto kong mabingi. Gusto kong magising sa mas lalong dumilim at pumait na bangungot na ito. Is this true? This can't be true, right? But she ran away. That was why your father married me instead. He had no choice. And? My voice shakily asked. Hindi ka ba nagtataka kung bakit malapit ang papa mo kay Achilles? He liked him for me until he cared for him because he is Leona's son. But did it ever occur to you why Achilles likes the academy and likes the navy? Why is he very similar to your father? Umiling ako. Ayaw kong maniwala. Uminit ang ulo ko at pisikal kong naramdaman ang pagkakabaligtad ng mga naiisip ko. I feel like I'm going to be crazy. Why your father funded his education? Why your father suddenly disagrees with your relationship with him? Why we will die first before we allow you to marry him? I don't believe you. Tumayo ako kahit nanginginig ang mga binti. Aalis na sana ako sa kwarto pero naunang nagsalita si Mama. He is your brother. Achilles is your father's son. Hindi yan totoo! Hindi ko alam kung bakit ka hiniwalayan ni Achilles. Nangako ang papa mo na hindi ito aamin sa anak niya dahil ayaw kong mabahiran ng eskandalo ang pamilya natin. Hindi ako naniniwala! I shouted. Achilles doesn't know that and I thank him for dumping you and marrying someone else. Now you stop pursuing him, Maria Emilia. Hindi ako naniniwala. Stop pursuing your brother. It's disgusting. I suddenly remember how Achilles used that word. Disgusting. Now I understand. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Ayaw kong maniwala pero hindi ko na yata kayang ignorahin ang mga sinabi ni Mama. Ask your father. He will tell you the truth. I am not just saying this to stop you from pursuing him. I am telling you this because it is the truth.